I'm pretty behind at this point. Anything Lantern related, always. Cy Spurrier, he's one of my favorites these days. Daredevil, always.
Yep, we'll see you later. Thanks, Ralph.
Jonathan Hickman on X-Men. I know everybody. Glenn, Hickman's X-Men. How's it going so far?
I just fired it.
Yeah?
I'm done.
2's as far as you got.
2 as far as I got. I'm done. I'm not wasting my time any longer.
It's only 6 apiece, though.
That's 4 more issues of time I don't waste of reading something I'm not liking.
So I've heard they've been rewriting history and killing people off left and right.
Oh yeah. History's been rewritten. That House of X2 it's on one character only, and it's kind of a repeating thing that's going on. After the 3rd time it happened, you could figure out, okay, I figured out exactly what this character is all about. Let's move on. But we got to get a whole book of it, and then we got to look at Hickman's. All his little flow charts that he does, just pages upon pages of them too. It was fantastic.
Is there a Hickman series you've ever finished?
Fantastic Four. But towards the end of Fantastic Four of Hickman stuff, I was done with. I was pretty much tuned out.
Avengers, New Avengers.
I made 9 issues of Avengers with him.
So 3 months out of 3 years?
Yeah. So I was so disappointed every time Avengers came out. It says, I can't read this crap. What I really enjoyed, and then again, it just stopped coming out, and it's going to be coming out again. But it's so complex that I don't remember what was going on. It was the Black Monday murders.
Yeah, that was good.
I was enjoying that, even though a lot of times throughout it I'm going, what is going on? But it was to me it was still interesting of what is going on. To when he's doing mainstream stuff, you know what these characters are, and he's doing we don't.
It's the same thing as Grant Morrison though. When he gets to play in the sandbox, he just does whatever he wants, and everybody hates it because it's not the usual thing. But then it ends up being this awesome, epic thing that like 5 years later, everybody's like, this is the most amazing run ever.
We're 7 years later. They erase everything he's ever done and know it doesn't matter again. Even Morrison's run on X-Men at one point they started getting rid of a lot of Morrison stuff for the X-Men.
How many times has the X-Men been through a total like rebirth where everybody's dead, everybody's back?
Yeah. It seems like a lot of Morrison stuff that came in just didn't stay because they realized this was crap.
I mean, I'm not going to try and defend the whole Zorn mess, but I don't think.
But he created Phantom X, and now Phantom X is Professor X, essentially.
Yeah, that's true.
That's great.
White Queen can still turn into a diamond.
I heard about it. I didn't actually read it, but now I miss Phantom X because I actually liked having him around, especially the Uncanny X-Force run.
Yeah. So, and again, he's got to go with his, just wasting pages of shit like this. Says, hey, let's tell more of a story. We don't need pages of this.
A lot of these guys, when they're doing these epic things, have like their notebook Bible that they're working from to keep things straight for themselves.
You need that. You definitely need that.
So for him to, it's kind of a glimpse into his head to see how he keeps things straight and how he organizes things.
He still has to put text in like this just so we can actually understand it, because I don't think he even understands himself. I think he did it, says, oh, wait a minute, I better put this shit in.
Recap, or is that part of the story?
It's part of the story.
A lot of guys are doing that now.
It's part of the story.
Kieran Gillen does it all the time.
I like some of Kieran Gillen's stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't Wiccan Divine fan, but it's in his own thing where it's not as mainstream, where this is a Marvel book or a DC book, which, I mean, they're trying to get to the biggest main audience, and even the dumbest of all people too. This book right here, you have eliminated some of those people already. Okay, I mean, because they are not going to understand it.
Yeah,
you've already eliminated them. After I got probably about this far into the book, I get what she's all about. I don't need to read any more of this. Let's move on. Put your little timeline at the end then, so you could say, okay, I'm going to show you all 11 lives, or...
I mean, it must be moving along pretty well if he's only doing 6 issues.
Yeah. Oh, that was the saving grace of the whole thing. He's got to get it into 6 issues.
Yeah.
So, or 12 with his powers of X2.
The miniseries that he did for Image back in the day that were only like 3, 4, 6 issues, because like I loved the Avengers run, but that was 3 years on 2 books and a crossover book to actually stick around for the whole thing.
And you can't get new readers on that book once it's started. You could say, hey, I just want to get an Avengers. I want to pick up issue 20 and start reading, because I read issues 1 through 9 and still had no idea what was going on. You're not going to pick it up at 20 and have a clue.
But he is the payoff king. Like, when you finally get there, you might spend 2.5 of those 3 years wondering what the hell is going on, but when he gets there, it blows your mind, and you look back and every little thing, you actually have to go back and look at things again because every little thing was important somewhere along the line, even if you didn't realize it at the time.
Do you know what he needs to do? He needs to get hired and write a novel of that. Like, Avengers as a novel would work. Yeah, you know, it's because you're buying that one big giant book. I think that would be perfect for him, because that book would have been a novel.
That's why I was excited about the 6 issues, because those big ones, those years-long projects are awesome in the end, but it's those old miniseries where you get that same style of 3 issues where you don't know what's going on, and then the 4th issue is the end, you get the payoff, you see how important every little detail was along the way, but you didn't have to wait 3 years to get there.
Right. I enjoyed the artwork.
I'm actually kind of amazed I'm still on East of West. That was one I was actually going to drop until I found out where the end was going to be.
Yeah, so you knew that it was going. It was actually going
I knew
somewhere.
It was going to arrive at where it intended to be and when he was going to get there. So I've stuck with it. But even with that one, you had a sense the whole time that it was getting somewhere.
Oh,
there was
definitely.
kind of a sense of the end point they were aiming for. Whereas something like Black Science, I dropped after like 25 because he just started going in circles and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
And I was reading Black Science for a little while too.
And you can't see where that end point is going to be. And you have these guys doing these things where they're like, well, maybe I'll get 12 issues and done. Maybe I'll get to do 25. But if I get to do 75, I know what I want to do. But if they get that chance, they'll spin their wheels. They'll add padding and filler and...
There are certain styles or certain types of books, though, that you read and you never feel, oh, it needs an ending.
Yeah.
But there's certain stories that right when it starts, you go, okay, the story that's starting to be told right now, you know, there has to be an ending. So there's two different sets. Sometimes
even
you read a book
still coming out. I know Walking Dead just ended, but I know a lot of guys that never read a comic book in their life got into The Walking Dead on TV and then started buying either the trades or the big thick compendiums,
yes.
And they knew it was still coming out. They were never going to buy it month to month, but every time one of those comes out and they can sit down in a weekend and blow through that huge chunk, they'll do it.
Yep. You probably could have kept on writing even longer than what he wrote. I mean,
I was surprised they just so abruptly ended it. Like, no fanfare. Diamond could have hyped that for like 6 months.
Yeah. But I'm kind of glad, because even as a store owner, I came in that day, I read that book, I went, what the hell? No one wants to be surprised anymore.
Yeah.
The best days of coming into a store on a Wednesday. I mean, I loved going in on Wednesday, walking in, oh, what came out this week? Now everyone goes, I already know this is coming out. There's no surprise. Just like, oh, yeah, I get this book. I used to like going, especially if it was a book that you were excited about reading, can't wait for the next issue, and there it is on the rack. Yes, this came out this week, because you're always in, hopefully it's next week it's coming out. And then when it comes out, you're excited. Now you already know 2 weeks in advance. It's slated to ship this date. The excitement,
the excitement gives you the list for the whole week. You check off what you want and make your list.
Yeah, and usually 90% of it's right. There'll be a few things that don't come out that end up coming out a week after or whatever. But yeah, most of the time it's right. But now you don't have that excitement anymore. It's just like, oh, okay, I know it's coming in. I'm gonna wait till Thursday. Or no, you wanted to go in the day you were going in to see the new this week rack. But
the one thing I miss about the surprise factor is I don't know how often now I'll see an article pop up of something from one of my favorite guys that I didn't even know was happening yet, and they'll be like, this thing doesn't ship for another 2 weeks, but the first 2 printings are already sold out. Like, what?
Yeah.
I can't just walk in and find,
right.
Some of these things you can't just walk in and find it and be surprised because they're already sold out.
Those people didn't look ahead or read the previews and pre-order and say, hey, we want there's this new Suspiria book coming out in a couple months called this. Could you make sure I get a copy?
Yeah.
They don't. They wait until it's 2 weeks before it comes out. We have already, where it's been 2 months ago, you started ordering it. So you're like, okay, this Suspiria book is put out by Joe Blow's Comic Company. It looks okay. There's a couple say, yeah, we'll order 3 copies. Well, then all of a sudden, it gets hot, or again, someone says, hey, have you seen what this is? Then it starts to blow up, and everyone in the world that's never even collected Suspiria, they want the book.
Yeah.
Well, now it's technically, it's already sold out, because we've gone through and says, oh, I've had 3 more people ask me for the book. We go and reorder a few more copies. Well, they only make X amount over of what they were originally going to print anyway, so now it's sold out. It's done.
Right.
They may go to reprinting.
Third printing for something the week something actually comes out in the first printing. That's nuts.
Oh, it is. Silver Surfer Black was actually something like that. There was a second printing that was solicited to come out, I think, the same day or the very next week of the first printing. And I look and go, this is Silver Surfer. I ordered 20 copies of this book. I have in 26 years, I have never sold, I think, more than 10 or 12 copies of a Silver Surfer book, right?
What was it that actually kicked that one off so hard?
I think Donny Cates is writing it, so that's the only reason why.
He's a big deal right now?
He's a big deal right now, yeah. So I started ordering, like, my Venom numbers. You know, I says, okay, but it's still Silver Surfer. He's an awful character.
The last 2 runs that everybody but me hated.
Right. You were one of 5 people who bought it. You know, it's I ended up ordering 22 copies of issue 1 of the first printing. So when the second printing shows up, hey, we got a second printing, I go, why am I going to order a second print now? I don't even know if I'm going to sell out of these first printings. You didn't know. Before the book came out, I only had 4 people ask me for Silver Surfer Black #1. So I had 18 copies that went onto the shelf, and I'm looking. I go, I ordered way too many of this. They sold out in the first day.
And that was one of those. Some stores were putting them up for $10 day one.
Yeah. Because second printings were already out, and that's what they were going out for line. Now, I had them all out. I only did one per customer. But 18 other people came in and bought a book off the wall. I mean, but I never ordered any second printings. So like, you don't know, but I did order third printings. Yeah. Because that's they're going to third printing. I need third printings now.
Is it any good?
I didn't. I've already gotten flack from the last episode in the comment sections of me not liking it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like, how can you not like Donny Cates? Well, I didn't say I dislike Donny Cates. I don't like this book of Donny Cates. I don't like Silver Surfer that much, and because Silver Surfer pretty much whines and cries every time in a book. I open up to the first page. He was in a fetal position whining about something. I said, all right, we're good at this. And then I don't like the artwork. And I took flack on this too, but I think I don't really like Tradmore's artwork. #1. I mean, I don't like this, especially for Silver Surfer. He did a book for Image. Yeah. I don't know, some kid that was invulnerable, or he had some powers. I can't remember the name of the book. They did 3 volumes of the book. I actually enjoyed that book, and I liked his artwork in that book. Yeah. I don't think this fits Silver Surfer. You might as well just put Mike Allred back on it.
I was going to say, you hated Allred on it.
Right. You might as well just put Mike Allred back on it, because that is not what I want to see, especially in a space book. Yeah. A space book, I said it in the last episode too. I expect to see, the dark black of space, bright colors. Right. This is cartoony, on an acid trip sort of.
Yeah, it's almost like some of the background is almost Steranko-esque.
Yes,
the psychedelic type of stuff.
Yeah. So this isn't what I think Silver Surfer should be. I would rather see Mike Allred, and you know how much I hated Mike Allred's Silver Surfer art.
I do.
I actually think that this is worse.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not reading it. Yeah, it's not being read. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, if you hate it that much, I'll probably have to pick it up because it's.
Yeah, you'll have to, because you're gonna like it.
Almost
me
certainly.
And you were on the opposite spectrums of most stuff. Most stuff. But like I said, I can't remember the name of the book that Tradmore did for Image, but I liked it. Yeah, and it was 3 6-issue mini series. That kind of continued
that
with each other.
That was just his own thing, like an indie thing. It wasn't somebody else's.
Yeah, no, I don't remember who. Someone wrote it. He did the artwork with it, but I think they were both like the co-creators of the book.
Because there are some guys that are like that. Like Sam Keith was always one of those where whenever he tried to do Marvel stuff or like existing characters, it was a nightmare. I mean, it was kind of a weird experiment that was fun, but like to actually do a whole book like that was unreadable. But then when you throw him into his own original stuff like the Max and some of his other things, it fits because he's just doing his own characters in his own style,
right.
And it works a lot better.
And that's how I feel with a lot of these type of artists. The stuff you said, like Sam Keith, I've never been a big fan. I didn't like Max, right, but I didn't like him when I think he did a Wolverine Hulk, Ultimate Wolverine Hulk, whatever. Couldn't stand it, but I liked him. He did a book for Aftershock.
Okay.
And I liked it. I thought the style was perfect for that story that he did. Yeah. And I can't remember the name of the book for Aftershock he did either. But I liked it. I thought the story was pretty cool. And I thought the artwork fit what that was. It wasn't over the top Max like, right? But it was a little calm down, and I liked it. But I don't want to see him on a mainstream book again. And I think Tradmore is like that too. I liked him in that. Again, I wish I could remember the name of the book. I liked him in that, but I can't look at this. So you may want to take a look at it.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll probably dig that if you hated it that much.
Yep. there are so many people that get offended because you don't like something that they like. You know, they get offended by it.
We've been doing this for a while.
Right. Me and you have been on the opposite level of the end of the spectrum. So on that. All right, you don't like what I like. I don't like you like. We don't hate each other. We're not offended by it. We just like what we like. You know, it's so I'm glad that my hatred sold that book for you.
Absolutely. Mainly because he gets into these really long, epic stories. His Avengers and New Avengers was 3 years. And actually a lot of stuff that they've pulled for some of the more recent movies have come from that run. It's not older classic stuff, but things that he kind of seeded in there. And a lot of people didn't like it because it's not traditional, like, bam, pow kind of one-and-done adventures. You really have to be in for the whole thing. But when you get there, the payoff is insane and something you would never suspect. And then you can go back and see how every little detail and every little thing along the way that didn't seem to make sense or didn't seem to be important was somehow critical to the whole outcome and what the point of the story was going to be. Sometimes he does the miniseries like we were talking about, that it's kind of easier to hang on to wait for that payoff for only 4 issues or 6 issues. 3 years is a big ask, but like the new X-Men stuff he's doing is only 6 issues, so it's definitely going to spin people's heads. That's what he's best at.
After this one story, I'm done with the Hickman. I'm done.
Do we get to start on Grant Morrison after that?
No, we're going to leave Grant Morrison alone, but I'm done beating down Hickman today. He's not my guy, okay? Yeah. I get it. He's a talented writer. I'm okay with it. Just not what I want to read in a mainstream book. That's why I'm always happy to try his other stuff. Some I like, some I don't, but I'm always happy because it's different. You know, right. But he wrote Infinity also.
Yes.
Which was awful.
Not great. Not his finest style.
Right. And like even a lot of Hickman fans said this was awful.
In the middle of that 3-year run, it was kind of a mess, yes.
Yeah. Jim Moore, he's been on the show a lot. He actually got hired by Marvel to write a novel of Infinity.
No kidding.
People have come back to him, have read it, and said, thank you. You took out all the crap of what needed to be, and it made it make sense, you know? So from what I hear, the novel is actually really good. And it's actually written by one of the customers that come in here.
Nice.
A lot of the non-essential stuff where you're going, what's going on here? What's good?
Yeah.
It's streamlined, and so.
Well, most of those things had pieces in the payoff at the end of that 3-year run. Like I say, you go back and all of those things are important. They do have a purpose. You just don't get to see that until it all pays off in the end. And yes, 3 years is a big ask. So I get people being frustrated with that, but I loved it.
Yep. And I don't know, what was the Infinity 6-issue to 8-issue series or whatever?
Yeah, and then all the crossover stuff.
But
that was like smack in the middle of that 3-year run.
Yep. Yeah, it was just bad.
So people who kind of may have liked the book but didn't really get it, read the novel. You may be able to figure more of it out.
Yeah.
But then again, there's no picture, so you got it's.
But that also gave us the Black Order that they put in the movies and that everybody loved in the movies. That was his creation.
Yep.
Still not impressed.
Hopefully I'm handling these. I mean, am I handling these books okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's gonna be someone now that said he's manhandling this guy's book. So
I'll leave that to the comments section.
Yes. You never hear anyone say they have a problem.
Well, you wait 10 years and every one of these is going to pay off a mortgage or that's a car payment right there. So you better watch it.
Or if you're homeless, you'll be able to wrap them up and put them inside your shirt so you don't freeze.
Yep. Stuff them in your shoes.
Yep.
People think they can speculate and know which ones are going to be which, but you don't.
Nope. And that eBay gold now, 10 years from now, isn't going to be eBay gold.
No one will remember it.
Yep. So you got rid of that Peter Panzerfaust book. You got rid of it just at the right time.
That book came out. It got good reviews. People liked it, but it wasn't a big deal.
Yep.
And then they announced that because that was right when Walking Dead had blown up and like those comics were going through the roof. So anything that's connected to a TV deal, the speculators were going crazy over, and
they still do.
I know, it's stupid. Well, but that's also how you get some of this stuff with second printing selling out before it's even released.
Yep.
Or not being able to find something brand new because some jerk has them for $25 a piece in the back a week later.
But issue number 2 doesn't sell. Yeah,
right.
Or issue number 2 sells where issue number 1 should have been. Should have been originally.
Yeah, things that people speculate on and drive prices up on. Like, what was that Avenging Spider-Man? That was the first time Captain Marvel took the name Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the big draw for a book nobody cared about. Nobody was reading. It was a good book, but they weren't selling a lot of them.
Right.
And then a year later, that one is, I mean, it's not through the roof, but it's more than it has any right to be.
Say I was ordering 10 copies a month, and all you're selling is 8, 9 anyways a month.
Yeah.
So you order your regular 10 for that one issue, and it's gone.
Right.
And then you buy it every week, but you come in every couple weeks, but you don't pre-order it because it's like, oh, it's always on the shelf. I get it.
Right.
Then you can't find it at all anymore because 10 other people got it that never bought, that don't care, and probably never even didn't read the book.
Yeah.
You know, it's and then you don't get it.
New stuff too, like Kieran Gillen's Die, the first issue. I'm like, it's Kieran Gillen. Nobody cares. I'm probably the one who cares the most in the world that this is coming out. Not going to be a problem if they flew out. Like that book.
Do you
took
want?
off.
He's got a book coming out now that's already on second printing. Even though number 1 hasn't come out yet, I think I'm sold out of number 1s from pre-orders now. The Once and Future coming out. Do you want me to put aside a second printing maybe?
Yeah,
for you?
throw it in there.
Okay. Or if I have someone that says I don't want it.
I think that's one of those I read about like a month ago and meant to say something about and then forgot.
Yeah, well, second printers have already been solicited, and number 1 hasn't come out yet either. Touching me, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You were in my bubble.
I've broken the bubble.
There's 50, so that's
deal.
Huh. So get them and break them open. Who cares?
I'll take them.
All right, there you go. Look at that.
Fucking sale. You're badass, you know that?
You are a badass.
He just lost $30 on a scratch ticket. He's like, I don't give a shit. I'm buying Spider-Man comics.
Hey, wait, let me get a screwdriver. We can pop them out.
Nah, it's okay. I'll pop them.
No, you can pop them. We want to watch you pop them.
Nah.
Yeah.
I may not even pop them. I
want to watch the popping.
I may keep them as they are.
That's the original one.
If I want to read it, I'm going to Glenn's house. I'm going to Glenn's house to read his.
Yeah, come to my house and read mine. Pick a number of Amazing Spider-Man, and you can read anyone you want.
I'm going to sit in the bathroom and read it while I'm taking a dump on the toilet.
No, you're using your own for that, okay?
Yeah. Gonna ruin his bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, I've ruined his bathroom.
Crack him open.
No!
Paul didn't even see these either. Huh. But I just saw someone try to commit suicide. Go through it one more time, see if maybe you missed something. I've been getting a lot of shit online for not liking that Silver Surfer Black and the artwork and stuff. I'm glad that you're here to actually say you don't like it either, you know?
Wasn't too impressed.
See? Now there's video proof that there's someone else that doesn't like it either. No, it's funny because there's some guys that really do like it and they love it. They love the guy's art. If they don't like no one wants to admit that maybe Donny Cates did something that wasn't that good.
Yeah,
you know? Right. I like Donny Cates too, you know, so
it's the only reason why I'm giving that a shot.
Yeah. The only reason why I'm giving this a shot too is because Donny Cates is writing it. Because I am not a Carnage fan. I like Venom. Venom's okay, but I don't like all the symbiotes or the symbiotes. There has been a million different symbiotes now. I mean, there's been a character that's had a Venom symbiote on them. Whatever. Don't like it. I just don't like it. Yeah. But because Donny Cates wrote this, I picked it up because of its writing. The artwork is awesome. You know, Ryan Stegman does some great artwork in here. But this is that's the reason why I bought it too. I thought it was a good book. If you love symbiote stuff, you're gonna love it. But yeah, I mean, not everyone has to. You know, if you don't like, I mean, not everyone knocks it out of the park all the time. I don't like Silver Surfer Black. You don't like Silver Surfer. But there's a few other customers that came in and says, please, you know, just take this off my sub list. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't tell that to like the rest of the world, like the YouTube world or whatever, because they are flipping out. You should see the hate messages that I get. How do you not like this? You don't know what's good. Again, it's all an opinion. I didn't like something from Donny Cates, but I like 90% of his stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so it's
like you didn't want to try his Venom when it came out.
Right.
You don't like Venom.
Right.
But you gave it a shot, and you're like, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Donny Cates. I'll try it.
Right.
And it was good. If it was someone that was a writer that I don't normally really like, I probably would never have even picked up the Venom. I wouldn't even have tried it. He changed my thinking on Venom, of a character that I'm not a big fan of, and he made me love the book. Right. But I'm not afraid to say if I didn't like it, I don't like it. But a lot of people, you don't believe how many people will take it personally. If you don't like something that they like, you're the worst person. You're the worst person in the world. It's
you're gonna work some real magic to do something different and spectacular with Silver Surfer.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Silver Surfer just in general is not that great of a character.
And I mean, it wasn't spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed you didn't buy number 2.
No.
I didn't read number 2 either. So yeah. If number 2 never came out next month, I wouldn't cry that it wasn't there. But but when number 2 does come out, I'm gonna be pretty. I'll still read it. Like I read they did 2 miniseries that came out this week that connect. They're doing a ton of tie-in stuff. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know until I actually look at it and see what was good and what is what isn't. But I'll try it because the concept is interesting. So you still want to see what it's about.
See where he goes with it.
Yeah. Glad to see this book is back.
Yeah.
Analog's a good book. And it's funny because this guy here, Duggan, he did Deadpool that I could not stand reading. And he does this book that I like, and he was doing
Dead Rabbit.
Yeah, Dead Rabbit. Was he writing the Dead Rabbit too? Yeah. He did Dead Rabbit, he did this book, and he's writing another couple books from Marvel that I enjoyed. Or there's one out there that he's still writing. There's another book out there that I enjoy. I just didn't like his Deadpool. But a lot of his other stuff I kind of like.
Yeah.
This here is what I'll find it for you. I'm okay holding your book, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because a lot of people say that I manhandle their books too, So
Yeah. I mean, maybe if it was another one other than Ice Cream Man.
Yeah. But I mean, like this is hurting your book, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be accused of manhandling anything. So okay, you can go this way. So here's the beginning of the back.
Yep.
Here's the beginning of this side. Just 2 different ways, but yeah. This was one of my favorite books, and this book is getting really close for me to bring it into the office. His last three issues just have not, they haven't. I figured with the start of a new story arc after the trade paperback, okay, it could be good. That last issue, I think the last issue in this one is just not cutting it. Yeah, just not cutting it. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people like Rob Liefeld again. I mean,
a lot of people didn't know who he was before Deadpool came out.
Yeah, it's funny because, back in the 90s, he was a rock star.
Yeah.
Because it was him, McFarlane, and Lee, the big players.
Those are the big ones.
That made Image.
And again, I thought Liefeld was the worst out of all of them. I didn't like him back in the 90s reading New Mutants, reading X-Force and stuff. Captain America, when they did that Heroes Reborn and Heroes Return stuff. It was just like, oh, man, I love Captain America, and you're putting him on the book. But then for the longest while, people trashed him. But it really seems like a lot of people are starting to like Rob Liefeld's stuff again. Or maybe the nostalgia kicked in or something.
I looked at his new book, and I was like, no.
That new book, that Major X book was not good.
Basically, all he did was draw someone like Deadpool and just put an X on his face.
Yeah.
It looks just like Deadpool.
Cable is in there. Right. They're all the same characters, right?
Youngblood was the same thing. When Youngblood came on, I'm like, all right, so this is X-Force.
Yep.
All he did was change the guy's face. He made him the same, one big guy, one little guy, one guy with 2 swords. It's all, like, can't you think of something different?
Rob Liefeld, compared to me, is the greatest artist in the world. But compared to the art world, I don't know how he got so famous. And now he's doing some of these variant covers, and I have a lot of people looking. I want the Rob Liefeld variant. I want the Rob. Some of these. I don't know. And maybe it's been because of Deadpool. It brought a resurgence in it where people now have gone back and got those New Mutants '98 who have never read any of that stuff.
Right.
And says, oh wow, I love this stuff. And maybe they liked the art too as well. Hey, he created this. I want Rob Liefeld stuff. I don't know.
It was dying for a while.
Yeah.
Where it was, I'm sure you've noticed it. Like people weren't buying books as much as they were. It kind of fizzled a little bit.
Yeah.
Except for the diehard people that are really into it.
Oh yeah.
And now it's maybe bringing back some new people.
We had the crash from the 90s where everyone was buying multiple covers and they were putting out, foil covers and die cut covers and this set of covers, and everyone wanted, all 10 different covers or 5 different covers. And then it crashed. it got back up. You know, it's
and now it's horrible with the variants. It's literally, it's ridiculous how many variants.
When we were at Boston Comic Con last year, the line to get Liefeld to sign something for you was like Stan Lee proportion. It was just, it went back and around.
Wow. And
he was only there for like 2 hours because he's Rob Liefeld. He showed up, he was fresh out of a bath, and he was like, all right, let's sign some stuff.
Right.
Sign. And then he was talking to someone, he got on his phone and left.
You know, because you hear that McFarlane's a dick in the actual industry, but to his fans, like they even said, like even though he's only signing 2. First off, for anyone to do it for free, that's pretty cool.
That's what I was gonna say. It's free.
And they say that he actually spends. He's not going to sit there and talk to you for an hour, but he makes you feel like that you're not just getting a free autograph from the guy. He's not just signing and sending you on your way. He'll actually talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, he'll take a picture with you. That's cool.
Well, what time are you gonna get there at this Saturday?
I don't think I'm going.
Dude,
now. I know. He's literally one of my favorite artists.
Just try. Well, look. I'll do this for you. We're gonna be there early.
Yeah.
Go, and if you see me in line, just say, "Hey, Alex, it's me," and I'll say, "Get in front of me."
What time you going? You got like 7. Yeah, that's
so if you want, we'll be there. But
there's a Brown Alex.
Yeah, get in.
One of my buddies that can't go because he wants Clayton Crane's. He goes, if you go, I said, I'm not sure if I'm going. He goes, I'll pay for your ticket to get in.
Oh damn!
And I said, I'll let you know by tomorrow. I'll let you know by tomorrow.
That's different. That changes everything. Yeah.
What time is he starting?
10:30 in the morning.
He's 10.
And they open at 10. So it's like right after they open,
you gotta go in and go right to him.
Run to the booth and just stand there.
Yeah.
So. And, you're going to have your books out of the bag. You have to be ready to go. And it's going to be a 1-2 thing. Everybody's going to have them sign. They're going to go straight to the CGC booth to have bad news because they're going to say, no witness, no business.
If I do anything, I would send it to CBCS.
They're the ones.
It's just for me, and it'll just be that it's still going to be protected and all that. It's not for me to resell. I would never sell something like that.
If you got a lot of shit to sign, I mean, obviously McFarlane's only taking 2. I mean, no one wants to wait, or they don't want to wait to have to pull it out of your bag and board, you know, right? Put it in your bag and board, but cut out the spot where you...
I see people put tape. There must be a certain kind of tape.
They say sign here.
And,
sign here.
And they put it around because they wanted to sign in that box.
Yeah.
He seems pretty good, like, you know, if he'll sign it in the middle. But it's... Because... Like when Stan Lee got older, you see a lot of his signatures now. They're like some are like they're scribbles and they're all over the place.
Right.
You want it to be where you can see it. You don't want to hand it. I don't want to bring it in and show you the book and have you go, "Where's it signed?"
Right.
Oh, it should be there in a nice spot.
Take your sleeve, cut a hole in it where you want them to do it, and then when you come home, just rebag the sleeve. Rebag the sleeve. So now you never have to take the rest of the book out. It's the only thing that exposed. Here you go.
Yeah.
If they can't figure out where to sign it, then they're dope. So
People do that. When I saw Stan Lee a couple of years ago, that's what they did. They had blue tape all over books. Sign here, please sign here, like with arrows, and they'd highlight the arrows. Like it's like, all right, they want to make sure he's getting it right in the certain spot. My cousin and I were standing there, like I had to rub my eyes, and I was like, Ephra, am I seeing that? He was like, he's signing the bags, and I was like, what an ass, dude! Just tell him, hey, take these out and get back in. Nope. He was like, all right, next.
All he was thinking about was $20 a whack. He saw the big stack and he's like,
that's what it was.
This is $500
books. Yeah. He was so excited he wasn't noticing. And I was like, he's not noticing. He's signing the damn bag.
How does someone get that fan struck? You know, or what? You know, I mean, that's that awestruck of meeting. I mean, where do you get to the point where you can't talk to somebody? I don't understand that. You know, it's.
I was when I was a kid. Like I remember they used the mall in Methuen, the Methuen Mall.
Damn,
and I'm there with my mother, and Terry O'Reilly was there with his kid, and I'm like, and I'm a big Bruins fan. I'm like, Mom, it's Terry O'Reilly, and she's like, well, go say hi to him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he's with this kid. And she's like, just go say hi to him. What's the big deal? So I go over to him. I'm like,
But you were a kid.
But I was a kid, right? I was young. Now if I run into someone, whatever. It is what it is. It's they're an athlete, a star, or like seeing McFarlane. I wouldn't be nervous.
No.
It's just cool to see him. You know, it's just...
Because you know something? They're just another human being. I mean, he's no different than you. He just does a different job than what you do. And it's more... Yeah, he's getting more notoriety. He's more famous. He's making a lot more money. But, I mean, but there's still nothing to be nervous about. I mean, the only thing I would be nervous, and I don't even think I'd do it, is if I wouldn't go up to the guy if he's eating at a restaurant or something, and he's sitting down eating. Hey, Todd McFarlane, or hey, Terry O'Reilly. Right. You know what I mean? Because that's just disrespectful. But you're walking down a hallway, or you're both walking to the bathroom or something. Hey, there's something
bit,
right. You're not making a big deal. You're not making a big deal out of it. You know,
He's in a stand-up stall and
Right.
you pull up next
But,
to him.
but yeah,
Hey.
right. Yeah.
Hey, I just happen to have a comic book here. Do you mind signing this?
When you free up your hands, you want to sign this?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Go shake his hand.
So you're standing at the urinal. Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah. That guy that you're talking about that was at Rob Liefeld's table was so starstruck.
He was like
that he couldn't figure out that, hey, this guy's just signing my bags.
Dude,
you know,
I felt bad because he was like, you know, an older gentleman, and he was so excited, and oh my God, he was telling us he was gonna go get them graded afterwards.
Yeah.
So I remember we were leaving. I was like, didn't he tell us that he was gonna get them slabbed? The bag is signed, not the book.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to go back in that massive line that was like a 3-hour wait. And hope he's still there, which he wasn't, because he left, because he does that. He just leaves. Because they can do that. Whenever they want to stop, they can just get up and go. So it was like 2 or 3 hours into it, and he was like, all right, I'm tired. Bye. Whole line of people waiting.
he probably did what his contract said he could do.
Made
Whether
the money he
I'll
made.
be there for 2 hours, I'll
Yep.
be there, or I'll sign a minimum of,
Yep.
I'll meet a minimum of
Yep.
300 people,
Yep.
whatever. You know, now you're at 600. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
done, and you just get up and
Exactly.
leave, right? But you know something? I can't fault the guy either. You're brought in there to say, hey, you're going to sign here with us from 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock.
Right.
So you're there, you're there for that time, and then you stay late or whatever, and there's still 1,000 more people wait. I can't fault where you say, I've had enough. I'm done. I went over the time that I was allotted to be here.
It'd be different if you found out, like, so he's there from 10 to 1, and at 1 o'clock there's like 5 people left. They've closed off the line. No one else can come in. And he says to the last 5 people, sorry guys, screw you, I'm out of here.
Right, that's a dick move.
That's a dick move.
Right.
But if you sit there and, like you said, there's probably still another 300, and that's the con's fault. The con shouldn't let the people, if they know that he's going to be there from this time to that time, you got to stop the line at a certain point.
Right, shut
then
it
what
off.
do you do? I'd be pissed if I go there Saturday and say, I decide late in the afternoon I go there. Now I'm waiting in line. They don't say a word to me. And all of a sudden, I can't see McFarlane. And all of a sudden, they come through and go, oh, by the way, guys, McFarlane's gone. You know, you missed him. And I'm like, what? I've just been standing here for 5 hours.
I saw Jim Lee last year, too.
Yeah.
Same thing. He was. We went to his panel. He did 3 signatures and a picture.
Yeah.
And it was like clockwork. All right, next. And as soon as the last guy walked away, he picked up his bag and went and did something else. And then 3 hours later, he went downstairs and did a massive, greeting to people. Yeah. So they're kind of on a routine,
They'd be there all day if they literally.
They don't want to do that.
How many people are going to show up Saturday? It's
Yeah.
going to be. That's why I was hoping he was going to be there more than just the one day. But I understand why someone like him can't be there more than one day.
If this man sells one of those books,
if I have doubles of Carnage, 360, 361, you're first on my list.
Hey, see, this is why it's my guy. I've been looking for this book forever, and I've been harassing Glenn for it, and I actually had it the whole time.
I have like a bunch of those.
Yeah. So what happened was I forgot what bin it was, but I remember you helped me pick books up. And you were like, "Oh, here, get that." Bought it, put it in my long box. Completely forgot about it. Been harassing Glenn for it. Poor guy. He's like, "Dude, like those always come and go." And then the other day, I'm going through my stuff and I find it, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, oh hell no. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm actually going all 3 days. I'll go tomorrow and kind of line up a couple. I like getting sketches from the artists.
Yeah, dude, that's where it's at right
So
now.
I'm gonna try to get Clayton Crane in Huck Lee. So I read somewhere that said they're gonna the staff is gonna count and they're gonna stop the line. When they basically think like there's no more people gonna get autographs, they're gonna stop it.
Yeah, right.
Because I waited in line last year for Capullo.
Yeah.
And it was huge.
Yeah, I was there for that. I got a few things on that.
And I was like,
ugh. The thing is, when I go, we all go together.
Yeah.
And when we go, we all farm out, and then we hold spots for people. So, but it's only like 1 or 2 people.
Right.
But that's what we did. So for Capullo, one of my cousins was there. For Liefeld, the other one was over there, and it was back and forth.
Just like you go back and go over here.
So we switch. We swap.
It's crazy.
It's a system.
Yeah. Definitely the, what is it, 340?
340 with the Hulk?
Yeah, with the Wolverine.
Yep.
And then, I don't know, maybe, I was thinking maybe Spawn #1.
That's what I'm doing.
Or,
I have one, might as well.
or I was thinking of the Amazing Spider-Man. I don't know, the one with Green Goblin, Hobgoblin on the cover that he did.
I know which one that one is. I don't know the number.
$3.19 or something.
Glenn is the Marvel Universe, so he knows exactly which book it is.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm still debating. I got it at home. I got a stack of McFarlane, and I'm just like,
I'm doing 328.
You put me on way too
that's the one
much-
with Spider-Man
you put me
punching
on
Grey
way
Hulk
too
in the
much
face.
pressure when you say I'm the Marvel.
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good
it's
one.
not an expensive book, but I love the cover.
Yeah.
And I'm doing Spawn #1, Venom verse 1. I was gonna do 316, but everyone's bringing him that book. Everyone I've talked to is bringing him that one, and I'm like, no thanks.
You get to do something else.
Do something different. So that one, I have a Venom #1. It's a KRS variant. They only did I guess a couple of hundred of them. I've never saw one for sale pop up, so I don't know. But I like the cover.
Is it him?
No, it's not him. But it's a Venom cover, Venom book. But I just like the cover, and I want him to sign it. So.
Well, McFarlane didn't draw the cover.
No, this is too new.
Oh, really?
It came out of KRS is like their own little comic book store.
Yeah.
So they do their own variant.
Because they were doing like for Venom that just came out, they were like pulling panels out of like his old Spider-Man and making covers of that, like really? one of 1,000.
Oh
like,
shit!
Yeah, they're like crazy money, like $700.
That's
okay.
No. Anybody else you going to see or?
We're gonna go take pictures with Stephen Amell. That's the guy that did
Green Arrow.
Yeah, he's gonna be there. We were gonna do Tom Welling.
Smallville.
He freaking canceled.
Yeah, both of it.
Yes.
Him and
they canceled. Like
I wanted to go see. I was gonna get my picture with Winter Soldier.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome.
I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Disney Plus is coming out. They're having everyone come on board. Film. So
they actually just canceled 2 more people today.
Yeah.
But then they added 2, and I'm just like.
So I'm hoping next year. Yeah. They know what they got to do. Next year is gonna be.
Well, I was super excited because I saw that the 3 people from the Goonies were there. I'm like, oh, if they get like Chunk, I'm like, I'm in. I'll get a group photo. I'll pay for that.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
Have you seen Aquaman?
I haven't yet, but I do see that it's on HBO. I watched Bohemian Rhapsody first. That wasn't too bad.
Hey, who doesn't like a little queen? I mean, you are a queen, but it's.
No, I am not a queen.
Oh, okay.
I admire the British queen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's sexy, right? Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, so I watched Aquaman last night I saw it for the first time. I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna go out on the limb and say it's probably one of the best DC movies that they made. I actually liked it better than Wonder Woman. I think they got with Aquaman right. I think they got it right where there was enough lightheartedness with the action and stuff that was going on. So I mean, I'm not saying Guardians of the Galaxy style, but it seemed more of like a Marvel style. So you had a few chuckles. You had your action. You had your stuff like that. So I would actually probably go out on a limb and say it was probably possibly my favorite DC movie. The Black Manta. Yeah. With what he did, especially with when they gave him the Atlantis tech, and he made it into that suit and stuff. I thought he looked awesome. I mean, he looked like the comic Black Manta. I like the way he incorporated the tech where he shot the lasers out of his eyes and stuff. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm looking forward for a sequel with maybe him being in it, because I thought he's never been one of my favorite characters in general. I actually liked him a lot in the movie, better than the Black Manta in the comic. I saw Shazam last week. Really enjoyed Shazam too. Those have to be like a couple of my favorite DC films. So I have to say, after we've gotten through Batman, and where I think the Heath Ledger Joker one was really, really good. But after we got that, you had the Superman and Batman, which I thought was not good, and Justice League, which I thought was okay. And then when they hit Wonder Woman, which I really, really liked a lot, it seems like they're kind of going into the right direction, because I thought Aquaman was really good, and Shazam was Shazam. I mean, it was a funny, lighthearted movie. Maybe DC is going in the right direction, but yes, I'd probably say for like the mainstream. I mean, I really don't know how Shazam is into the whole world of the DC universe movies. For the mainstream movies, I would have to say I liked Aquaman the best. I don't know. It may not be. It may not be the popular thing to say, but just my opinion. $14, please.
Look at that.
So let's chat for a second.
Okay.
Event Leviathan.
Yeah.
I know, like, you were really against it. You didn't. You didn't. Well, before it came out, I'm not gonna want to read this. I didn't like this thing in Superman, or is that Superman you wasn't liking it or something?
Yeah.
Has this story, like the first 2 issues, had that changed your mind at all?
It's not bad. I'm kind of warming to it, but I'm still a little on the fence.
Yeah. Oh, Lois Lane.
That has been excellent.
2 issues out.
Excellent.
2 fantastic issues.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
Very, very looking forward to that book.
Yep.
That's a good book.
Yep.
But that Jimmy Olsen trash.
I thought Jimmy Olsen was trash. I didn't like it. But I'm not going to get too much into it because I'm not allowed. I'm ruining the comic industry because I don't like books. That's what I've been told. I've single-handedly ruined the comic book industry.
I don't think so. DC did that themselves.
Right. Well, that's not what the experts online say. So, yeah. So for that,
our opinions don't matter.
No, hey, they don't want to hear them. They don't want to hear them because most of the time.
Why do they want you to do a review?
Because some people want to hear them. But see,
this is getting confusing.
Well,
now.
see, they don't want to hear the opinion if it doesn't agree with theirs.
I've experienced that myself. Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah. So, but anyways, let's talk about
I'm mean and nasty because I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh well. Let me go kick a dog.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about. We'll talk for a second about the Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
Yes.
I thought it was just goofy. Was not very good at all. But I was shocked that you didn't like it. I wouldn't have recommended it to you. I particularly didn't care for it because I felt as though it was pure 70s.
He's doing well.
I thought it was a pure 70s DC book, and that's the sort of shit that you like. So as I'm reading this, I'm going, I don't really like this, but this is right up Phil's alley. I watched some of these. I looked at some of these Superman books that he just bought from me 2 weeks ago. It's the same goofy stuff. So I'm reading it. So I apologize that I recommended it to you because I thought it was right up your alley. I felt as though it was a late 60s, early 70s DC book, which I don't particularly like most of them, except for maybe Batman. I don't
campiness.
Right. Well, I mean, campiness in the 60s. I didn't even like Batman then either. But I mean, as the 70s and stuff come on, you started getting Neil Adams stuff. I thought Batman was actually pretty decent. But the rest of the Superman, the Flash, I always thought they were really goofy, and that's why I says this is right up Phil's alley. So I apologize for recommending it to you because I thought that was right up your alley.
It was trash. It was absolute trash. I don't know why DC thought that was going to be worth reading or worth writing because it was trash.
Next week, issue number 2 comes out. What you're saying is it better not go in your subscription file.
Please, no. Thank you.
Yeah. So, like, if it's in there, are you going to, like, rip it up?
I won't rip it up, but
no.
I will say thank you very kindly, sir. I'm going to walk this back to the New This Week rack and find its spot and put it back in.
Or maybe you should just punt it. Just put it up and just give it a kick across the store.
No, because then you are ruining a comic book, and that is a sin to ruin. Even though it's a shitty comic book, it's a sin to do so.
Hunt that Batman doll.
Well, that'd be kind of mean to Batman.
He likes Batman.
I like Batman. See, Batman's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So give it a boot. Give it a punt. Oh, great. Now Sven just ate Batman.
Don't chew Batman. He's the Dark Knight. Good job.
Good job. Get
him. Down and stay.
He almost took.
Down and you.
He almost took Phil down.
Yeah. He was Batman.
Yeah.
He thought he was playing. He thought you were playing now. He's like...
He's all excited. He's all excited. The first actual dog thing he did.
Yeah. You have a fan. Only one. No, a female, I believe. Twice has mentioned, yes, the buff's here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, you have a fan that is following you.
Thanks.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking? I mean, I don't know. It's just an odd thing. Do you think the new character, Star, could be actually a piece of her manifesting?
That's what I was thinking.
Because she's losing her powers.
Yeah.
So, but Star comes. So maybe that's the Kree side of her, or like got pulled out somehow.
I was thinking, maybe alternate dimension or something like that. But I was thinking it was like her, only different.
Carol Danvers is losing her powers. So I was thinking maybe Star is, because she came from that other, when she got sucked into the Molecule Man's or who she fought in the first 5 issues.
I don't remember his name.
But got sucked into that other world. Maybe something happened coming out, and
technically it wasn't another world. It was like he created a pocket. What was just that nobody can enter,
right?
Except for any woman that he wanted to.
And maybe when she exited or something happened to her. I don't know.
You want to shit on what I bought, so go ahead.
No, I don't want to shit on what you bought. I respect your choices.
Since when?
Always respected your choices. I can't shit on any books anymore. I'm done. I'm single-handedly ruining the comic book business. I'm killing comics single-handedly.
I'm glad you've come to terms with that, and acceptance is the first step.
How can I trash on Star Blazers?
You can't.
Right. I mean, just can't.
The greatest anime ever made.
Right.
You cannot trash.
Just can't. Right. I can't trash on Star Blazers. Can't do it.
Can't watch it either. But
I can't watch it. Right. But you're absolutely right. I can't watch it, but I can't trash on it. I can't trash on Attack on Titan. I don't know enough about it, and it's one of the most. It's one of the most popular things out there. So who am I to? Because something, you can't dislike something that's popular. You can't do that. So I can't dislike this. It's popular, and I really don't know anything about a certain scientific railgun, but I think maybe I'd like to be shooting one of those. A nice little railgun. It's not a popular choice, but I enjoy Captain Marvel. You enjoy Captain Marvel, but that makes us, yahoos.
SJW warrior?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. You don't say that out loud either. If you're a male and you like Captain Marvel, then you're a bad person. So we're both bad people. Yeah, we're both bad people.
Because I even like the movie. Ooh,
how bad
am I?
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it, but I haven't seen it yet. I just want to be entertained. Doesn't mean that's all I'm looking, just to be entertained.
It's not Oscar winning or anything, but it was a good, entertaining movie.
Yeah. How can you rag on James Bond? I don't particularly like James.
Yeah, only
James
because
Bond.
Your wife will get mad at you.
Yeah, right. My wife likes James Bond, so I'm gonna talk about that. And
well, feel free. Because I'm getting close to firing it too, and it's only on issue 2.
Yeah, we're good. Star Wars Vader. Can't rag on. Well, I'm not a Star Trek fan. Orville. I've watched a few episodes. They're kind of amusing, but I just never got into it. But I'm not a fan of that. Don't like Doctor Who. And all right, you got a lot of stuff here I don't really like. You either like Robotech or you don't. It's
actually really good. I honestly have never watched the cartoon Robotech. I've never seen it.
Oh no,
the book's actually really good.
I like the cover. I like the Captain Marvel cover. I think it's a decent looking cover.
Your idea of being split, since her reflection in the water is kind of her, kind of not.
Yeah. As a Kree. Well, she did find that Kree soldier too, but yeah, it was a male soldier that she found. So
it does look like, and they're gonna have to get rid of her, right?
Yeah, maybe.
They're not gonna be. They're not gonna want 2 Captain Marvels.
Right. This book has been good.
I only read issue 1 so far.
Yeah. Did you like issue 1?
I did.
Yeah. I'm done with that. Did you read the last issue of this?
I don't think I have yet.
Okay, then I won't talk about it. The last issue,
I don't remember. I don't think I did.
Okay, the last issue, something happened in it that I never saw coming.
This is the issue they talk about how the Guardians died, right?
Oh,
I think that's the one.
All right, so the last issue you saw the Guardians die.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a hologram type.
But I always thought that he was. I always thought that they were there with him. Yeah. I didn't realize it was all in his head.
So I did read the last one.
Not too many books or even movies.
They take all the crews of all the stuff.
Like just blow my where I never saw something coming.
Yep.
I didn't see that coming, and I liked this book. I loved it after that issue.
But it's like to prevent war.
Because it wasn't like you were reading, you're reading the same stuff I mean, there was a twist in it that surprised you, and comics don't do that too often now.
You don't watch that card show, right?
I don't get.
Keep it a surprise.
Right.
Don't say it out loud.
right. Because you may be watching it, your wife may be looking at it. Right. No, you're $14 short.
What am I usually like $40 bucks a
Right.
week? But
But
because
you
I'm
know
so far behind, like with my stuff, I'm trying to get caught up.
But you know something? You didn't come in last week.
No.
So if you take 2 weeks worth, you're right where you're supposed to be. But unfortunately, certain people, and I'm gonna just say to your wife, but if you're supposed to be spending $40-something a week, and you spend $40, it's great. But if you don't come in for 2 weeks and you go and you spend $80, they get pissed that you spent $80, but it's the same amount of money, right? Every week you say, hey, look, I can spend $40 a week.
Yep.
So at the end of the month, I can spend $160. You come in every other week and spend $160. They get pissed though because it's two $80 weeks. You can't get it through their skulls that it's the same. It's the same amount of money.
Well,
right.
I'm far behind because it was what, a month I didn't come in for straight.
Yep.
I was calling Glenn up. Hey, let's do the list. He's like, yeah, you haven't been in yet. I'm like,
all right, we're gonna start off with Absolute Carnage versus Deadpool. You gave him a dirty look.
No, it went like this. I couldn't see. The light wasn't.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Daredevil.
Yep.
I think Criminal's one of the best books out there right now. Should be reading it.
It's so good it's criminal. 2/3 of the time.
Yeah, PU.
Thank you.
Death's Head. I couldn't even get through the first issue of that book. I brought it home because it's #1. I try it. Never liked Death's Head since he's been up. It says I'm gonna give it a shot. I started skimming pages. I said this is done. You know what I tried? I tried that book, Berserker Unbound, that came out by Dark Horse. But it's almost like a Conan type character. You know how much I hate Conan, but he ended up somehow coming into the future. The future still is all messed up. It isn't totally like our. Yeah, it is. He ends up in New York, I think, or whatever. And I enjoyed issue 1, but it was a Conan type book. Why would I try it?
It wasn't a Conan book. It was a whole different thing.
It was still a Conan type character,
that
right?
You knew you didn't like, and
right?
You brought it.
But it was different. I mean, this is still a different story than the other Death's Heads that have been out there. So
when you read it, was it the same?
No, it was awful. Yeah, it was the same. It was exactly the same. It was awful.
Exactly.
Okay.
The moral of the story?
I shouldn't have tried it.
Exactly.
Well, hold on. I didn't like the last 2 series of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Why would I have read this series of Guardians of the Galaxy?
You're a fan of the characters.
Okay, so I read this.
Death's Head you don't even like. So you went into it not liking the character to where you're like, hey, I'm gonna read this new issue of a character I hate.
I was hoping to like it. I was trying to be positive. I was trying to think positive.
Yeah, but people don't like that.
Be thinking positive?
Yes. They want you to be negative so they can complain.
Oh.
Don't ruin the comics industry for everybody.
Yes.
I'm single-handedly ruining the comics industry. So I've been told.
Now you're just going over the line the other way.
And you're making us all accomplices in that ruination.
So now I'm trying to find something good? Or maybe I read it just to hate it. That's just a waste of time. Hate watching, hate reading.
You can hate it without reading.
Yeah, right.
Now,
hate watching it, hate reading is stupid.
You can
Yeah.
hate it without reading.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you had that, an X-Men.
Death's Head or the House of X?
Yes.
House of X by far.
Really?
Yeah, that's how bad Death's Head
But that's
was.
already on the
Oh, it's
store.
already gone. I fired it. Yeah, it's fired. Yeah.
But you would bring it home.
Yeah.
Instead of Death's Head.
I would, yes, I'd bring it home instead of Death's Head. Yeah. Yeah, but it already went to HR.
Yes.
HR has already given
into
its
the
termination
office,
payments. Yep.
No more.
Yep, walked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Powers of X?
Yes.
yeah.
No, House of X was better than Powers of X, I thought. So, yeah, so... And House of X got brought in. Powers of X was kicked out. Kicked out. Well, no. Powers of X was going to get a second shot. But I hate it. I didn't like House of X enough on #2 that I didn't bother bringing home Powers of X #2. So I'm good. We're good. We're not going to discuss this anymore. Not discuss this anymore. This will bring up a lot of hatred. I just want love.
You gotta try the new X-Men that come out.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely still try the new X-Men when it comes out. I'll try X-Men. But I see. And here it is again.
But you hate them.
But I like the last Uncanny X-Men that was just out, and I like
you
the
haven't finished reading that.
Age of X-Men. I haven't finished reading it, but I like the Age of X-Men stuff. So we're good, you know. I mean, so here's the thing again. X-Men. Well, you don't like them. Why are you trying them? Well,
What's that? The X-Men one. That was new. That was something totally different.
but I'm still gonna try this new X-Men that's coming out, even with Hickman
Writing it.
Right. Like I said, I'm always still gonna give him a chance. I'm a sucker. Okay, so I'm still gonna give him a chance, and I want to like it. But there's a couple other books that seem interesting out of the new X books that are coming out that I'm gonna try them. You're trying to start a fight. Try to start an internet fight.
Trying to start a fight.
It just seems like it. It seems like you're trying to bully. He's not paying attention, is he? Look at him. Yeah. Because the camera's facing this way, so he's like, "Oh, I'll abuse a dog while the camera's not on me." I saw that. Yeah, he's like this, pointing right at his face, just like that.
See?
Star Wars Dr. Aphra?
Yep.
Yes.
I already put your names on those.
Yeah.
Star Wars TIE Fighter? You can still say yes anyways.
Yes.
Yep.
Strangelands? The greatest book that DC's putting out right now.
No negativity.
Was it be a negative? It just says the greatest book.
You're setting it up like you're going to be negative.
Oh.
I'm feeling a little negative.
Okay, well, the next book, Superman Year One. You guys have bad taste. Okay, that's one of the greatest books out there.
That's what Sven thinks.
You didn't like number? Oh, you didn't buy number one, did you?
No.
Tell me why. I can't talk about it, but you tell me why that you didn't buy Superman Year One.
I'm going to channel myself and your spirit together. It sucks.
Any particular reason why? Could it be who's writing it, or maybe the artwork?
I would think the writer.
Yep.
And possibly, well, the artwork might be okay, but I would say the writer.
Who is?
I don't want to say, because if I say it, it'll probably ruin my whole.
People love you, so you can probably get away with it.
You have credit, Phil.
Yeah,
that's okay. I don't want to say it.
You've got.
I don't want to be negative on this person.
Well, it doesn't matter. You just said the book sucked.
Well, it does.
So you already just were negative. Well, so who's writing it then?
Do I really?
Has that writer done anything that you've liked?
My dog is going to speak for me in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who's drawing it?
You know, I can't remember the artist's name.
JR.
Okay, well.
JR.
Ramita?
I wouldn't even get it.
Well, that's why Phil says he's not getting it.
Well, he wouldn't say who it was anyway.
Well, you know.
So just tell us who's writing it. You know. I don't want to say the guy's name.
I can't.
I'm getting ready to go.
Frank Miller? Frank Miller. It's horrible.
See? See? My dog is speaking for me.
No, see, it's total. I can't believe that you would put down like a great book that this is that the world loves. Disappoint me, Phil.
Miller and John Romita, his artwork is terrible. I'm sorry. And the story doesn't appeal to me. I don't know. People are going to think, oh, this is the best thing because it's Frank Miller and it's John Romita. No, I'm sorry. I'd rather read a trash can than that. I'm sorry. Yes, you can. It's made in America, you know, U.S. steel.
Unless you buy a plastic trash can.
Well, that's true too.
Made in China.
More than likely, yeah, could be. Hey, what?
What's wrong with you?
I know.
Seriously.
I worry you. I know. I apologize. I worry myself sometimes. And if I picked up that book, I would worry myself severely.